Hi, I am Roy from Object Edge. I'm here to talk about the Launchpad Accelerator for Commerce Tools. What is the Launchpad? Well, Launchpad is the quickest way to launch a B2B storefront into the market in as little as 2 weeks. B2B use cases are hard because they are complex, they have different buyer personas, workflows, and shopper behavior. The Launchpad comes baked in with all of these nuances. All you need to do is connect your Commerce Tools API backend with the storefront, and voila, you've got a running store. In this demo, I would like to demo the Pepsi storefront that we've built and connected to your Commerce Tools API backend. It has two personas, buyer and approver. In this, Jags is the buyer. As I take you through the Jags workflow, he has to log in because all B2B workflows are behind the login. You can see the menu items. He can shop. He can look at his orders. He can look at the codes. There are invoices, quick order, and his account. For this demo, I will stick to orders, codes, and the account. In this account, he can look at his company profile, default shipping and billing addresses. He can manage his personal information. If he wants to shop, he can shop for equipment or bikes. In this case, let us look at the $69 helmet or $64 helmet. He adds it to the cart. You can customize this to add to cart or add to quote as you see fit. He can go to the cart. He can either check out or request a quote. This item is so small that it makes no sense requesting a quote or a discount or any such thing. He's going to do checkout. And when I, as Jags, agree to the terms and order, enter the invoice number and place an order, this order should generate an order ID. I can go look at the order details and the status by going back to the orders menu that I showed you before, and you will see that this $65 order as confirmed. You will see the details as confirmed. Why did this not require an approval? Because we have configured for this use case that any order below $1,000 does not, the first $1,000 does not need an approval. As a result of which, this order got confirmed. Let us say Jags wants to buy an expensive item like a mountain bike, which is about $5,400, and he wants to place it in the cart. Then he can buy this only with approval. So he goes to the cart and he's instead looks at the price and says, maybe I should ask for a quote and a discount from the sales agent. Let me write to Roy and say, hey, Roy, give me a 10% discount. And I request a quote. Now this quote has been generated. You go to the quote screen and it is 126. As you see, when I look at the details, as the screen loads up, you will start to see the quote ID, the request, the items included in the cart, and all of the other details. Now this has been sent as a quote. For the sake of approving this quote, a sales agent like Roy has to go to his Merchant Center backend and approve the quote. So I'm going to shift the context by shifting the tabs to Merchant Center and go to B2B admin. Here, what happens is in the B2B admin, Roy can look at all the quotes. He can look at the quotes and he sees, oh, there is a quote from Jags requesting $5,394 bike. He can go look at the quote. He knows that he can give, there's a discount request for 10%. He can choose an amount discount, percentage discount, or change item price entirely. Here he decides to say he's going to be generous and give him a 15% discount. When he does a save, the dollar value on this changes immediately, as you can see, where $809 discount gets added. Now he can approve this code. When he approves this code, it so happens that Jags code should be in approved state. And Jags is to just go to his code screen and come back and look at his code screen. And when he looks at it, it's in approved state. Now he feels comfortable placing an order. He could reject the code and still negotiate with the customer. But for the sake of this demo, we're just going to place the order. He's going to agree, enter an invoice number, and he's going to place that order. Once he places that order, he expects the order ID. He can look at the order ID. he can now look at the order status going back to the orders. And you will see that this order does not look in the confirmed state. Why? The dollar limit on this crosses the $1,000 limit set in the merchant center, which I'm going to show later in the screen. And this is a pending approval, which means approver for JAGS is needed. So let's log in as JAGS' approver, which is Chetan. Chetan comes in and Chetan enters his password. And all he does is he goes to his quotes and orders and he can approve. Chetan, as an approver, can approve any of the orders. As the screen loads, you will be able to see all of that. As Chetan logs in, you will see that his screen is different. He's got a delivery summary of the orders delivered. He's looking at the codes. He's looking at the invoices, and he can go to his orders and he can see what are the pending approval orders. He can look at the details. He can look at this and say, okay, this order is pending approval. This order has this part. It's at this number, and this is the order place details, and he can return, reject, or approve. I will approve in this case. And once I do that, the order changes back into the approved state. As I refresh and come back, you will see it's confirmed. Now, if this buyer wants to place an order, he can go buy the same $5,000 bike without any code process, and he can quickly place an order. And this would do a checkout, and he can agree to the terms. He can enter the invoice number and place an order. What you will see is this order is going to be in a confirmed state. Why does this happen? We've configured that this user does not need an approval, so it goes directly to the confirmed state, as you can see. So this is the buyer and approver workflow. You can customize this in multiple ways. You can create a peer for Chetan also, so that all of his orders also goes through a review process. And you can configure all of this in the Merchant Center. Let's go quickly take a spin in the Merchant Center and show you how all this is configured. This is where you can manage the companies. You can look at the Object Edge as a company that is configured. You can look at the rules. You can set the rules over here to be the limit of $1,000 need not require an approval. You can make sure that the total budget is at $10,000, and you can configure many more things, including the employee roles as a company employee or an admin. This is the power of commercetools Accelerator BEPC, which can quickly log in, enable the shopping experience of a buyer and shopper. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. For any other questions, you can always leave me a note on roy@objectedge.com. Thank you.